Welcome to Adventures with Moo. I'm Lindsay, and this is John. We bought a 2023 RAM ProMaster, and we're DIYing it into a custom camper van. Soon, we'll be traveling across the country in it with our dog Ziggy, aka Moo Moo. Last week, we took you through our very first week with the van. We covered cleaning the van, spray painting the interior, touch-up paint on the exterior, installing the kill mat, building the subfloor, and laying down flooring. If you missed last week's episode, go check that out first. This week, we're taking you through installing our seat swivels, roof rack, ladder, fan, solar panels, and 3 windows. Yup, we did all that in a week. Let's get into it. First up, installing our roof rack. This was a pretty straightforward process because our rack was made specifically for our van and bolted into existing attachment areas on the roof. We went with White Top Adventures, and it was easy to install and looks great. I love the little mountain design at the end.
John is putting together the front fairing, and it's going to go here.
The front fairing is a scoop at the front that improves aerodynamics. It also looks pretty cool. Once that was on, we could attach the side ladder. We chose the driver's side because it wouldn't risk being in the way of the sliding door. It was so exciting to see this part because this is when the van stopped looking like a utility vehicle and actually started looking ready for adventure. Attaching the seat swivels was interesting. We needed to raise it up so that it would clear the seat belt when it rotated. There was also the question of whether I could reach the pedals after the seat was raised.
So now that the seat swivels are on, we're going to find out if I can reach the pedals now. That's the stretch. Oh. You know what, actually, that's fine.
Unfortunately, we also had some problems with the dealership.
Yeah, we haven't really filled you guys in on what's going on with this drivability situation. So when we got the van home, we realized one of the tires was low. So we filled it up. And then the next day it was low again. So we filled it up and the next day it was low again. So clearly there's something wrong with it. We also don't have a spare tire. They didn't give us one. And we don't have the jack kit. They didn't give us that either. So we can't take the tire off to get it repaired. So anyway, we've been going back and forth with the dealership trying to get them to give us all of this stuff, and they want us to come down to pick it up, but it's a 2-hour drive, so that'd be 4 hours out of our day. We've already made that trip 3 times and not doing it a 4th. They don't want to ship it, so now they're saying they're going to find a dealership near us and buy it, and we can just pick it up there, which is great. However, they're dragging their feet on it. We also don't have the physical part of the key. We've got the fob part, but that battery was actually about to die too, and it's really a good thing that it didn't happen when I was on the highway, because you can't get into the van if you don't have the physical part of the key. So we've been dealing with all of that, and so basically we've had this van for a week now. Today has been a full week, and we really can't drive it because if we get stuck somewhere, we're screwed. Anyway, the swivels are looking good.
Then it was time for more touch-up paint. I felt like I was always finding new areas that needed it.
Because this area is so large too, I also got this bigger brush, which I had from art class in college. How many years ago was that? A lot of years. Solar panel day!
Once the roof rack was on, we could attach our solar panels. We went with two 200-watt panels for a total of 400 watts of solar. Up next, installing the ceiling fan.
Okay. So today is our first cut a hole in the van day, and it's a little nerve-wracking because we're on a time constraint, but we're gonna try to just cut the hole and do all the rest later. But we'll see how far we go. So John's on the roof. He's taking the roof rack brace off. I'm going to tape the ceiling with this trash bag to catch all of our ceiling cut debris. Don't want metal shards anywhere. So this is where we're installing our fan. And we're going to be cutting on this flat area because these ribs can be kind of annoying to deal with. Kind of looks like it was made for it. It's where a sunroof would go. I think I'm going to need 2 trash bags actually, and they're going to have to be taped together, so I need scissors. It's not the most elegant. Basically, the fan is going to go up here because the cooktop is here, shower is going to be over here, so it's going to be ideal to have some kind of like ventilation and exhaust over those things. And then our AC is going to go in the back over the bed, which is really probably where we're going to want it the most anyway, because I can't sleep when it's too hot. I just can't. And not only that, hopefully it's going to create more of a frost breeze. And we also have bunk windows that we're going to be installing in the back over the bed as well, and those are going to be they're windows with fly screens, so they can be opened for a cross breeze across the bed, and also when the fan is on, the windows are open, we'll get pretty much the maximum cross breeze size that you could get in a van like this.
John ended up putting the fan in while I was out, but it looks awesome. Then it was time to cut the windows. Making big holes in the van is always nerve-wracking, but first we needed to remove these ribs. Then we got the glue off. And spray painted the exposed metal areas.
Today's the day we cut our first bunk window, so this is going to be the driver's side. And this is the template that came along with it. We're thinking it's going to be probably pretty high up. That way we have play for the bed. And we are also thinking the cubbies are going to come down probably to somewhere around here. The only tough thing is we're going to have to cut from the outside because getting the jigsaw in here might be tricky with this. Whereas on the exterior, it's a completely flat surface, so you won't be hitting any braces with the saw.
We traced the template where we wanted the window. Pro tip, double check your template size. Our template, which was created by the manufacturer, was actually a little too big. Yeah, which meant fitting the window was really tricky and we needed extra sealant. We put guide holes all around the perimeter of the cut, then tape the area from the outside. Then we were ready to cut. First, we drilled a hole big enough for the jigsaw to go into. One more pro tip, be careful. You should wear heavy-duty work gloves or something like that because these jagged edges are dangerous and I cut myself way too easily on them. We repeated this process on the other side for a total of 2 bunk windows.
Alright guys, it's time to cut the final window hole in the van. We have our holes made, and John's gonna cut, and I'm gonna shop vac. Here we go.
Any small bits of shaved metal left in your van will create rust, so make sure to thoroughly vacuum and clean up after cutting any holes in your van.
So next step, we're gonna be spray painting the cut edge. We're gonna let that dry, and then we'll do the rest.
Once that was dry, we attached the window gasket. Then we applied the primer. This will create a surface for the window sealant to adhere to. The sealant was so hard to apply because it was slightly dried out, but we got it done. We put clamps on the edges to secure the window in place while the adhesive cured, and used pieces of cardboard to protect the window from scratches.
Alright guys, we're going to show you how to change the headlight on a 2023 RAM ProMaster. We'll also see if we can get that out, because there's an extra bulb in there.
This is a T30.
So there's a T30 you're going to take out here.
And this is T30 over here.
And another T30. There we go. Slide it sideways.
And then there's one connector. There we go.
Okay, one connector in the back that you pop out. And there it is.
Hey. That bulb is good.
Okay, well let's hold on to it then. And what kind of bulbs we got here?
7444NA.
Okay.
Turkey. Just go in there and twist to fit. There you go.
Now you just match up those bolts. can actually access the lights as well without taking the whole housing out. That's what John's doing right now.
Yeah, I only took that other lamp out so I can get the bulb that fell in it out of it.
Yeah.
One more small final step to close out this week.
So this is what we're working on. And what kind of wood is this? Birch? Pine. Just to cap off the edge where our insulation, plywood, edge of the floor tiling, floor panels is going to be visible. And we considered painting this wood, painting it white, but I think it's going to get dirty pretty fast if we do that. So I'm going to try to stain it and maybe get something similar to the floor, and maybe it'll look a little more cohesive. So I've got two stains I'm going to test here. Red mahogany and cherry. There's only a little red mahogany, but I think it'll be enough. So we're just going to see what this looks like. Ooh, this is very dark. But actually that's pretty similar to the floor. We'll have to see when it dries, but it's pretty good. That's really close, actually. Now let's see what cherry looks like. Oh, that's very light. I did shake this too. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Yeah, alright, I think it's probably going to be the red mahogany then. Yeah. Hopefully I don't f*** it up. It's not terrible.
This was a super productive week, and I'm so proud of everything we got done. Next week, we'll take you through installing our AC, insulation, cedar panels on the ceiling and recessed lights, bed, and kitchen cabinets. We'll see you there.